Hi everyone, welcome to Alana LC, the place to be to manifest the business and life of your dreams. And today we're going to talk about relationships again. This is going to be another video on relationships. And today I wanted to talk about the show Sex Life or Sex Slash Life. Let's just call it Sex Life. I think that's what it's pronounced like. I think that's what people call it. And, there are going to be spoilers. So if you haven't watched it and you don't want spoilers, you would know to wait to watch it before you watch this video and you'll pause the video or stop the video or whatever you want to call it and go to the show, watch it. It shows on Netflix and come back. But I just wanted to say I really loved it. I really loved the entire show, from season one. It was really, really good. And I loved season two, and I think a lot of people did as well because it had a really great ending, right? And so, um, yeah, I hope I hope people already knew to click off the video. I'm sorry. People are like, oh no, now I know how it ends. But anyway, because I think that gives away a lot, right? But I warned you there are going to be spoilers. There was no reason to not pause it after I said that there are definitely going to be spoilers in this video. Okay, so I do find that it was a really great show. Once again, it was really good. And I think most importantly, I appreciated the message that, and this is a channel that is about helping people manifest the business and life of their dreams. And so I thought it was really great that it sends a message that you don't have to settle. You can have it all. We can have it all, and we can have it all at the same time. Okay. And so, but it's important to keep in mind that all means different things to different people. So whereas like one person might want to for instance, have kids, another person might not want to have kids, and have that child-free life. It's not necessarily called childless nowadays, it's called child-free if you're part of the child-free movement, the child-free by choice movement. The DINK lifestyle, dual income, no kids. It's a husband and wife without children. Or, and some people prefer to, you know, do it on their own and have kids on their own. And they want kids, but they don't want marriage. So in that case, that's having it all for them. And yeah, I don't mean to do this disrespectfully because uh literally that's having it all for them. And so yeah, different people want different things. So in this case, she had wanted the husband that she loves, um, and the kids, and everything traditionally a person would want. But her initial husband wasn't somebody, let's just say she loved the other guy more then. So she left the initial husband that we saw her with in the beginning, and she ended up with the guy. A lot of people might have considered him a bad boy, but he was exciting for her and all of that, and she ended up with him. So I just wanted to say that I did really like the show, and I do think that it's an important reminder for all of us that we do get to have it all, and we get to have it all at the same time, especially women. It's an important message for women, because, a lot of us are told that we can't have it all, or that, be a good girl now, that kind of way. And, only men are allowed to go out and get what they want and this and that, but we can get what we want and decide. But, be all, use our feminine energy to attract that. And that's something that I plan to talk about in, other videos, and something that I think Billy, the main character of that show, demonstrated really well as well. What another thing I loved about that show is how real it was. It showed that, obviously she went with the other guy, but it wasn't an easy journey. The divorce, she went through the divorce, and that still hurt. That still hurt. She dated, and it wasn't easy. She's a single mother dating, and with one person, you might find they're a good dad, but not a great partner. With another person, you might find they're a great partner, but not a great dad, to your kids, or, stepdad, for those who prefer to specify, but, dad's the dad. But anyway, but yeah, it's like either or, and but in the end she was able to find somebody who was able to do both of those things and do all of the things, that she wanted. And so again, it's an important message, not to settle. Um, not to settle if you don't want to settle. If you want to settle, there are pros and cons to everything. Sometimes you might, find someone and feel safe and nice and trying to like make what you already have work, and that might work for one person, whereas another person might not want to settle. But it's a reminder that you don't necessarily have to, and that it is possible, very possible, to have it all. Again, I like how real it is, how real, how much, a lot of women would be able to identify, especially with the struggles, even though they might not be at the stage where they've found their partner yet, they definitely like related to and understood those struggles. I could see a lot of women, relating to them. Um, What else? And the divorce wasn't easy, or even though they both wanted to, because the relationship had gotten to that point, it still wasn't an easy thing. And she spiraled in her way, and he spiraled in his way. She probably didn't spiral as much, though I don't think she spiraled as much, but he definitely did, because he had a lot of judgments about himself. He had a lot of, he was a perfectionist, you know? Um, he had a lot of self-love work that he had to do as well, a lot of working through the things that hurt him in healthy ways, and learning healthy ways of coping. And I think that's another thing that um we learned from this show, or to take away from the show, or that they touched on in the show, and that is mental health issues, particularly mental health issues in men, and how men handle their mental health. I think that added also another valuable part um to the conversation, of course, particularly that conversation. What else? And her friend, her best friend, it showed, the differences in what people consider having it all. Um, Even though what they both wanted was pretty similar, Cam wasn't necessarily the, bad guy, even though, he was exciting in all the ways that, you know, her friend, and, they both want their men to be exciting. But for her, is like, and I think she was the one actually in this show that illustrated it very well. The whole entire concept that I think is the main takeaway for everyone. It's like you can have it all, and you can have it all at the same time. Is that she initially, she was saying how she didn't want to go a certain way or do a certain thing, for a guy. And it's like, you know, she gets to choose her own life and what she wants. So even though she might not have necessarily wanted to be straddled down by anyone, um, she gets to choose. It isn't necessarily bad what you want. It isn't necessarily that it has to be an either or. It is okay to be okay with compromising in a relationship. And yeah, but in the end, that worked out even better than they both expected. But the fact that she was even willing kind of opened up that manifestation for her a little bit more. I think, you know, that's a very like cool thing to demonstrate in a show and that we could take away from the show. Um, the fact that she was willing to like have a little bit of wiggle room, um, and that brought her to the airport, and then she realized that he was doing the same thing and coming to her. She was coming to him and he was coming to her. So they both were able to get an opportunity to know that they both have each other's backs. It isn't one necessarily having to feel like they have to sacrifice for the other. It isn't either or, you know? And so I do think this was an amazing show. I do think it was a groundbreaking show. I think it was awesome. And what do I want to say? I either whatever. I think it was awesome that Jupiter Venus was conjunct in the sky, for all of those, fellow astrology lovers at the time of the release of the second season, because, Jupiter is a great expander. Venus is obviously all things romantic and feminine empowerment and feminine energy and all of that. And bam, the season 2 of Sex Life. I didn't even know when it was coming out, but the fact that it came out and I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I'm watching it, it's like Jupiter and Venus are conjunct in the sky, of course. When I realized how it was going and how empowering it was, that the series was, I was like, of course this came out when Jupiter and Venus were conjunct in the sky. Of course it did. So yeah, I think that part was really cool as well. And yeah, overall, I'm just really happy with it. I think there are a lot of takeaways from it. If there is something that's coming to mind that I didn't mention in the video, be sure to mention it in the comment section below so that we all could read it. Uh, you know, feel free to like this video and subscribe to my channel, and I'll talk to you guys later. See you later.